Good morning. Surviving separation, but this actually isn't about separation. This is about friends in the process of separation. Sometimes you have friends that are supportive. Sometimes you have friends that are a listening ear. Sometimes you have friends that are just there. And sometimes you have friends that you think may listen, but they are not receiving what you're saying. This weekend, my friend she knows everything from the very point of it happening to the voice note that caused it to everything. And then we were talking, and then we got on a three-way call with a friend that really didn't know. She only knew, from what she spoke about the ex, who said, oh, he will always be family and all this stuff. And then this person forgot everything we talked about. It was like, well, you're always going to be family. I'm like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about that because I'm done and I don't want nothing to do with the situation. You shouldn't be like that. You act as if you didn't know what occurred. You unfollowed this person based off of what they were posting because you were like, it was just so mean, it was so disrespectful. And now it's like you forgot about all of this. And it became like an attack because I am not in the sad girls club and I didn't subscribe to that. When I wasn't eating for several days, when I wasn't sleeping, when I couldn't hold anything down, you weren't there to confide and be there for me. So because I went through all that by myself, I've gone through all of this alone, you feel as if I should be mourning and sad. I've gone through every emotion. You weren't present for all the emotions, but just because you weren't present does not mean those emotions were not there. Yes, there was moments of sadness. Yes, there was all of these different feelings and emotions. They're gone now. I'm in a different place, but I'm hurt based off of how my friend should have been a friend for me, but was not a friend for me. And it seemed as if because I was in an open marriage, the judgment started. Because there was no understanding of why I was in an open marriage. And then I was pretty much accused of just trying to keep myself perfect. No, a private life is a happy life. My marriage was private. My marriage was off limits. And now I'm talking about my marriage because it's no marriage anymore. So I feel I'm in a place I can talk about my marriage and I can talk about what I've experienced in my marriage. And I said, didn't you watch my YouTube videos? Oh, I haven't watched them. And I hate rehashing things and going over things over and over again. And I was trying to go over them. And then it was like, well, you said this and now it's like this. You're asking me questions. I'm answering the questions. I'm past all of these emotions. Those emotions aren't present. Well, why you went off on him on a voice note? I didn't go off on him on a voice note. I saw him kissing in the club. We didn't discuss that part of our open relationship, and I saw the passion he had for this person. I told him how I felt in the voice note. He did not receive my feelings. He took it as I'm trying to take his happiness. Nobody's trying to take your happiness. I'm happy that you got somebody. And I've said that time and time again. I don't know how many times I can say that till I'm blue in the face. But you're telling me you don't have to say you're happy for him if you're not happy. But I am happy that he is in a happy place. I don't know how my friends think I should feel, but I know how I feel. And it feels like the feelings that I do have aren't valid in my friend's point of view. But if my friends would have been true friends and been there for me, because no one came out to see me when I was at this lake house. I went through all of this alone, other than my personal friend that I talked to daily who experienced all of this with me and my coworkers. My true friends weren't really there for me until I came out there to go see them. I've come to the realization that I've poured into a lot of people, but when it's time for me to be poured into, my cup was empty. I had to figure out how to fill my own cup up. I had to figure out how to navigate through this. And the most hurtful thing is it just reminded me of my marriage, not being heard, not being seen. I'm letting you know how I felt. And then when I was like, listen, Linda, I don't give a fuck about what you're saying and what you're doing because I'm not going to. Well, you don't have to attack. No one's attacking you. I don't need to hear your unsolicited advice. If you've never been married, you've never been in an open relationship, you don't have any warrant to tell me how I should move or navigate. And it was just coming from left and right. And I just sat and listened. Kim, are you there? I'm here, I'm listening. Because no matter what I said, there was going to be some type of rebuttal from a female's point of view. Oh, I went through a breakup and I was down for 3 years saying la la this, la la that. Okay, I dealt with this shit for over a decade. So I had time to go through all of this and go through the emotions. Well, why you didn't leave? We had business together. And then it just became business. And yes, there was still feelings and we traveled and did all our things, but deep down inside, no, this wasn't it. And so when you said separate, and I said let's divorce, I was ready. I was ready. But I didn't expect to receive what I received from a friend. And especially when you know what occurred. And for you to say I'm just trying to be perfect, I'm just being my fucking self. Because if I told you how I really felt, if I went the fuck off on you and I didn't hold back my emotions because I'm very blunt, then I would be the one being the villain. But because I'm controlled and I speak with clarity, is considered perfection because I want my life to be put together. I'm putting everything together as perfection. There will not be any sadness within me because that's not what I'm subscribing to. I'm subscribing to telling my story and living in my truth, laughter, and joy. And it seems because I'm living in that, it's bothering people. And it's like I saw how people felt and it hurt me because this is my friend. And I'm still bothered by it. And I don't know how to move forward with it. And I feel having a conversation will be received as them being an attack because they have to be the victim. They have to always be the victim in the story. And how Kim cursed at me and said, listen, Linda, and all. Yes, because you're not listening to me. You're on the phone with someone else. You're feeding off of what they're saying because they don't know the full story. And I kept saying, just watch the vlog. If you watch the vlog, you will have all the information you need because me going over it is exhausting and I can't do it no more and I don't want to do it. But it's hurtful that the person that is my friend, and it made me realize like, damn, I have been alone other than me talking to someone and my therapist. But my friend that should have been there for me wasn't. And it's eye-opening. And I know she means well, but it wasn't needed. Yeah, surviving separation. This is bullshit that comes along with it.